Magic round. Suncorp Stadium, the perfect ground for it. All that discussion. Gus, can you imagine it moving? There's a bit of talk leading in that it's got to get shared around the country, head elsewhere. Can you imagine it being anywhere else but Brisbane?
Well, if it goes so good, why move it?
Yep.
I mean, the whole city was buzzing. I was up there from the Wednesday, went up to Toowoomba and landed in Brisbane on late, Wednesday night. But bars, cafes, hotels, in and around the precinct of the football, in the town itself was pumping. People from all over Queensland and New South Wales. A lot of people travelled a lot of miles. You're standing there and people coming up and wanting photos and talk about. And I always ask, where do you come from? And they come from miles and miles away. And people came from the other side of the country to be a part of Magic Round. And it was a great atmosphere. They got tremendous football. The early games, were obviously rain affected and teams struggled. And then a beautiful Sunday afternoon to top it all off. It was a brilliant weekend.
And the Queensland fans are happy to travel for a game as well. I mean, some of the North Queensland Cowboys fans travel ridiculous amount of kilometres to go there. So they're happy to go there. The only place I would be happy if it moved to would be New Zealand. But just to say thank you for what that team's done for the NRL the past couple of years. Now, I know it's going to be based in up in Brisbane for a few more years, but at some point in time, if it was to move, I'd be happy to see it move to New Zealand purely to say thank you to the Kiwis for what they've done to the game. I think the sacrifices them players have made, I know they've been pretty well looked after, but the fact is that Polynesian community is so family orientated, and for them to be living over here the past 3 years, I think it's a pretty big sacrifice.
You've got to have the crowds, that's the key, and you've got to have the party around, and that's the beauty of Caxton Street and the city being so close to Suncorp. It helps a lot. Michael, how concerned, though, do you think the NRL would be with some of the behaviour of a few? I mean, considering there's over 130,000 that went to the matches over the 3 days, a few in the crowd, there was the brawl, there was also the foul talk towards Jackson Hastings late yesterday as well from some members that were ejected. Horrible scenes, a lot of it.
Yeah, look, and they were, and obviously the NRL is concerned in regards to what happened here. I think Owen Cunningham, former Manly player here as well, involved in this, trying to protect his son. Look, unfortunately, I think you see a little bit at the cricket with a day on the booze. A lot of these guys have been there, 6, 7, 8 hours and maybe had a big night. And I don't know what the NRL can do to try and stamp it out, because a lot of people at the ground having a good time and, as you know, having a drink.
Yeah, having a drink, but mate, we all have a drink. And we all want to use it as an excuse, but it's not an excuse.
No, it's not an excuse.
Not for fights. Now, is any of that behaviour criminal? I mean, if it's criminal behaviour, getting in fights in public, which you can't do, they should be charged criminally. And for the instigators who are out there just causing trouble,
seriously,
banned for life.
Yeah.
They should be banned for life everywhere in rugby league, banned for life. You go to rugby league with your family and your kids to watch the game, enjoy the footy. Yep. Not to go and start talking rude to women and carrying on to that's probably what's happening.
That's a deterrent. Yeah.
And then getting in fights, it's just ridiculous. I mean, I know we are so tribal and so staunch about the team we follow, but to go to a footy and punch on over it, I just think it's ridiculous. And if it's any criminal behaviour, they should be charged criminally and then banned for life. And
the family members too, from that one spectator giving it to Jackson Hastings as well. Bizarre, like a boo, a regular sledge fine, but when you get to that personal, I kind of like what he did last night, Gus.
Yeah, well, it's just antisocial behaviour. And I made the point, you take it away from Magic Round, antisocial behaviour and sideline abuse is the biggest deterrent to junior sport anywhere, in all sports, not just rugby league, anywhere in the country. It's our biggest issue in junior leagues, is the antisocial behaviour and the abuse on the sidelines that junior league fixes. It turns people away, it turns kids off the game, it turns people away from going to support these kids, and it's not good for participation. It's a massive issue, and it's one that I've spoken to the government about on numerous occasions, about programs to try and alleviate that. Not just in rugby league, but obviously rugby league gets the high profile for it. And that behaviour at Suncorp Stadium, as Paul said, it's just unacceptable. You can't do it, you shouldn't do it, and you should be punished the ultimate if you do it.
Tell me this, for next year when the Dolphins are an automatic inclusion into Magic Round, so there'll be a team that has to sit on the sideline. Inside the tent yesterday on the Sunday Footy Show, Gal, they were debating that perhaps a relegation, that whoever's last this year...
I've already asked Abdo the question.
Gets relegated, OK, you got the answer?
I asked Andrew Abdo on radio on Saturday. He said it won't be the Dolphins, it'll be put into a pool, and however they do it, it'll just someone will come out and cop the bye. That's the way it's going to work. So whoever gets the bye round 1 will get the bye round 10.
What if it's the Broncos?
I've got no idea. What if it is? Whatever the computer spits out, he said that's who's going to get the bye. Well, mate, that's what he told me.
The best atmosphere was the night the Broncos played, because you had more fans there for one team.
From the horse's mouth, he said, however it comes out, it will come out. And I said the same. I thought it'd be the Dolphins.
It won't be the Broncos.
No, but you've got to have the Dolphins. Because
Queensland teams,
you'd have those two going head to head.
You'd have them there without a doubt. But he said, whatever the computer spits out, it will spit out.
If it spits out the Broncos,
They'll spit it straight back in.
redraw.
No doubt about that.
Well, we have officials at the draw. I'm worrying about the integrity of the draw.
Yeah,
James.
like the Oz Lotto type.
Yeah, no, redraw.
Gus, you might be able to answer this. Did the clubs get a financial incentive for playing there?
Yes.
If it's your home game, yes.
If it's your home game.
Yeah,
So there will be someone who will hopefully...
You get the opportunity to say you don't want to take your home game there. You want to keep it back where it is, and you're prepared to play away from home on that day. But there is a financial incentive for it to be a home game.
Okay.